that's loud.
Sorry.
Make sure my head's not out of the picture. Okay, I'm good. No one's watching now anyway, except Jane. Except Jane. Just Jane. Okay. Time to work on some game dev. Super awesome. Trying to finish up our game here in the next couple of months. At least version 1. Bam! All right, we got a couple people out there. How's everyone doing today? No one's in chat. All right, so I am working on... Nick started this last week, and I'm going to try to finish it up. We had the idea of adding bonus goals for our dungeons. Basically just a little something extra, some extra challenge that would exist when you're finishing a dungeon. It would just give you some extra gold when you completed it. So most of it's done. I'm just kind of adding it to the user interface and making sure it shows up in all the right places and that it calculates correctly. Right now there's only one bonus goal, so I may implement a couple more bonus goals too. We'll kind of see how it goes as I get to it. So what do we got here? All right, so that does that. So this, what I'm working on now is basically at the end of every dungeon, when you win or lose, you get a scorecard that shows how well you did. So I'm adding to that scorecard any bonus goals you may have completed. We've got it so that there can be more than one bonus goal. I'm not sure if we actually will do that, but we can. So it needs to handle the fact that there's one or more bonus goals that you can finish in the game. So the way this does, it basically builds up a long list of game objects in Unity, and then after the list is built up, it reveals them one at a time so that the scorecard sort of renders itself column by column. So that's what all this mumbo jumbo here is doing. Let me see what, just have to remember how this works. It's been a while since I've looked at this particular bit of code. Yeah, so some other changes I'm going to have to make here. Probably also need to get a I need to look at how this is set up in the game itself. Not sure what Unity's doing here. So this is, oops, I'm in the wrong place. I want the game over screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is right over here where it says quest completion, I'm going to add the bonus goals, and then if you succeed, you'll get the money. If you'll fail, it's going to say failed. So what I need to do is just have a text prefab that I can create. So wait for this to compile and it'll show up over here, and I'll just hook in my prefab. Make sure that's the right guy. Yep, that's the right guy. He's at 110. So I have to get all the positions correct. So he's at minus 110. So I've got this utility method for taking a prefab and creating it left. So 80. This is the grueling bits of game dev, just pixel positioning. And then you spend all this time making sure it's perfect. Whoopsie. Okay, so the name of the goal. Oopsie. Sorry, I used to keep hitting the wrong button. I'm using my Mac keyboard, and I'm not used to actually using the keyboard on my laptop yet, because I use a separate external keyboard, so I always mess it up. Alright, so this will create a text mesh from the prefab. It'll parent it to this game object at this location. And it'll set the text. These are Toolkit 2D text meshes. And then this gold reveal list, essentially it's the list of game objects that will be rendered on the screen. As the scorecard is rendered.
Yeah, your largest amount of acid vibe.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, right? We got a very nice review on our Steam page today. So it's exciting to see. Okay, so what I want to do is if the goal is complete, we're going to say how much gold you got. Otherwise, we're going to have what does it not like about that? I've got the order reversed. And the other thing, the way this is set up, when it renders the scorecard, basically as it renders each item, it will also update this gold here starts out at 0, and as you start accumulating things, it counts up. So that's what these game object accumulators are. They do two things. They have a game object and then how much gold to add to the overall total as it's rendering it. So that looks pretty good. The one thing I need to do is use the Y value that comes back from this to pass into this guy.
You so glad that you got it.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Well, the silliness of the art and everything.
Uh-huh.
And just that, just everything being silly.
Alright, so now should be all I need to do. The Y value should now be adjusted. So if it renders any bonus goals, it will give a little bit of space. Probably need to add a little bit of space after them. Let's do that. All right. All right, so we got this right. So middle, this one's going to render on the left at the Y position, and then leave room for the next one. And then at the end, we'll just throw in an extra 10 pixels just to give it a little bit of breathing room before it starts rendering the monsters that you killed and how much gold you got for the monsters. So I think that should do it. Yeah. let's go see if it works. So there's our bonus goal. Defeat 6 enemies with super attacks and earn 600 gold. So I'm just going to cheat. And it's our little cheating console that we have. We use it for debugging stuff. Deal. Keep typing the wrong command. So I just have to kill 6 things with super attacks and then win. Dumb giant rats are a test monster we have that basically doesn't do anything. It doesn't counterattack. We just really exist for us to test effects and other things. I don't have 2 of anything. There's 3, I need to kill 2 more. Ah, I'm on fire. It's funny, I shoved him back and he opened the door. Oh look, I already have a super attack. That was 4, right? How's everyone out there in Chatland doing? Nobody's chatting. I'll do some lightning. I think that was 5. This guy with a crystal. So that should be 6. So now I can win. None of that worked. So what happened? Darn it. I should have saved that game first so I didn't have to do that again, because I knew it was not going to work. I mean, I didn't know it wasn't going to work, but it's always a possibility that it's not going to work. So, a couple of things. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this guy in the editor. So that's the gold that I earned for sure. What's going on with my editor? So those things are swapped, for one thing. The text did not get set for another thing. So that's 2 problems. So first, we need to move it up. It needs to be like there. Like 150 maybe? How does that look? That looks good. So let's go fix all this. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Right, so first, I just cut and paste errors. Okay, so goal name mesh. Set it to the goal name. Make sure that goals actually have a name. Super attacker does. Let's go ahead and put a colon in there. Alright, I need to do it again, except this time I need to save the game before I win. That way I don't have to do all that crap again. You know, I didn't even look at how many times I was supposed to do this. Oops. Nine enemies, crikey. You know, I'm gonna cheat. Just edit my save game and make that less. I'll say defeat 3 enemies with super attacks for 300 gold. How about that? The save game, as you saw there, is just a JSON file. We're leaving it unencrypted and out there, so if people want to find their save game files and edit them and make themselves super strong, that's totally possible. Maybe once we're have everything done, we'll do something to try to circumvent that, but people always will find a way if they want to cheat. Okay, so queso. Three enemies, look at that. Easy peasy. Now I'm on fire. That's unfortunate. Alright. This is number 2. Oh, I didn't kill him. Darn it. And this should be number 3. Boom. Take that. Alright, so now I'm going to save off my dungeon. That way if it's messed up, all I have to do is load that game again and win. Win. That did not work out correctly. Clearly that is not correct. So I need to move that guy way much further down. Let's see. down about 50. Alright, so what I'm going to do is instead of moving him down at all here, I'm going to move it down here. So before it renders the monster trophies, I'll do that. I also need to fix the fact that stuff rendered out of order. Bonus goals. That's weird. This should be first in the list, so I'm not sure why the other thing rendered first. Now, let me just go back and look. Try it one more time and then I'll go through some breakpoints and this is the super fun part of game dev, just tweaking something, trying it, tweaking something, trying it, replaying your game a billion times.
I know you like it, but you always messing up.
I know. It still looked funny. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so that guy needs to be moved down even a little more. Yeah, it is super confusing why that stuff's coming up out of order. I don't understand it at all. Ah, crud. I broke it. I thought I was going to do that. Alright, well, back to the drawing board. Which means I can't use the save game anymore because when I reuse save games like this, I can't let it go all the way back to the menu and win the dungeon because that screws it up. Sorry, we'll try this again. I'll make it 2 this time. don't think that counted. Because I didn't technically kill him with the fireball. I killed him, the fire that was on the ground killed him. Okay. So this time I'm going to save the campaign file and the dungeon in case I screw up again. That way I'll be able to get back to this point in time. And we'll figure out what's going on. Win. I know why it's coming up out of order. I just figured out. And I forgot to kill it before then. Good thing I copied the campaign file over. Alright, so what's happening is these game objects need to be turned off because what this game object stuff does, when it reveals it, it's basically activating each game object, so that's why it's showing up immediately. And it looks like it's coming up out of order. It isn't actually coming up out of order. All right, so this feeling pretty good about this. Whoopsie. Okay. Whoa, there's a million sheep on there. Something is totally busted. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Ray, you should come look at this. So I don't know what happened. I've never seen this. We got a little bird, like,
Holy crap.
and look at the sheep. There's so many sheep, they're all dense. That's like a flock of 1 million sheep.
Damn.
That's hilarious.
That's killing the frame rate.
It's
too.
totally dead. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Blast McGurk? Welcome. Trying to figure out why my game just went crazy. Everyone probably saw that. It was insane. This is the way it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a few little birds flying around, a couple little sheep. Not 1 billion birds. That was like complete insanity. Huh. That was crazy. Alright, so I think that looked pretty good. I want to move down, I think, move this down maybe a little bit more. So that's good. There's a nice, some breathing room there between the monsters that were killed. There's the goal. Probably should say something about it being a goal. So let's see what that would look like. Maybe say goal colon that without the colon at the end. Probably too many colons. Bonus goal. I think that's going to be too long. I don't have a whole lot of room in that text area there. Well, you know what? Let's see what it looks like. Yep. So I guess I could have the bonus goals. What I need to do is have a header that just says bonus goals, and then underneath that, enumerate the goals. That's what I'll do. And then I can have the second colon. And then maybe indent the actual goals a little bit. So then this will go back to being what it was. User interface stuff, just always, to get it right, you just have to really tweak it a ton. You end up spending way more time on your user interface than you think you're going to. And a lot less time on gameplay than you'd like. But getting the user interface right is very important. Whoopsie. Whoops. Jeez. Okay. Now it's going to be perfect. So that's not bad. I'm not sure why I have a variable for this anyway. All right, one more time. See, this is what I get for being overconfident. If you've watched any of the stream ever, you'll know that I say that all the time. But this time it's going to be perfect. And never, ever once has that been perfect, that one time. I usually end up saying it about 8 or 10 or 15 or a million times. But this time's going to be perfect.
One of these days you're gonna be right.
I mean, I have to be right once, right?
Yeah.
I'm just ever the optimist.
What better way to live?
Ah! What did I do? That was not perfect. It was terrible. That. Stupid negative signs. Here we go again. Okay. That looks pretty good. Oh my gosh. The sheep are going crazy again. What the heck? That might be an actual bug. I thought it was just, I've never seen it before, ever.
Are you just tweaking particles? Huh?
No, I'm like laying out user interface stuff.
And it's affecting the particles. Or are the
That's
sheep-
not all, the sheeps aren't particle effects.
Uh,
I don't know what's going on. They're crazy. Now I'm going to see what it looks like if you do not complete the bonus goal. So I'm just going to win. So that didn't even look good. Why does that look so terrible? So clearly that needs to go down a little. I guess just against that black background, that anti-alias text looks terrible. What other color might be? Maybe just a lighter red? Or a yellow? Yeah, yellow's not too bad. Pure yellow look like. That looks better. Alright, we'll try yellow and see what that looks like. And then obviously the no gold earned needs to move down. I don't know what it's... Yeah, it's at -1. Just had to figure out what its Z position was. Scoot this guy down a little bit. Shouldn't say no gold earned either. It doesn't even make any sense. It should say no gold earned from monsters? From killing monsters? Yeah, that's what it should say. Because in this example, I didn't kill any monsters. Should never happen. Well, it should never happen when you win. And you know what? I'm not going to worry about it because no gold earned. It's only going to show up if you fail a dungeon. In that case, you don't earn any gold. So it should say gold 0, quest completion 0, no gold earned. Because it's impossible to win a dungeon without killing any monsters. So, alright, just had to talk myself out of that one. So the only reason this is happening now is because I'm faking the game out. That looks alright. Alright, so I'm going to call that bit done. I'm going to jump away for a quick second. I'll be right back. Okay. Turn that to a more normal size. Alright, so I think we can close all this stuff down. So here's the one bonus goal we've got. So the other thing I was thinking of doing was trying to figure out how to best expose the bonus goals in the game UI. What I may do for now, what we talked about for now, is just showing it on the menu screen. Just add a line here that says what the bonus goal and show their progress toward the bonus goal. So yeah, I think I'll just do that. So that is the menu panel. Let me hide all this other stuff. Move this guy down. So this guy's going to need the text. Okay, so I'm going to do something pretty similar to what we did over here. Except here it's rendering that you completed the goal itself. Whereas here we just want to show the goal and the progress toward completing it. I'm going to show it right in the middle, center, and probably just a little bit below. Oh, we're going to want that to be a variable. I'm not sure what that means. Free character modems with animation.
Okay, free character. 855 went a sheep moving around.
Yeah, I don't. So, in answer to your question, I don't really know. So, we're not using. Our game is just a 2D game. There are some. I know there's some game sites out there that some graphic sites that have some free assets you can download. That have some animations in them, and then I know the Unity Asset Store has a bunch you can buy. You're asking about free ones, so all of our stuff we've done ourselves, and there's not the characters themselves aren't really animated. So, like I said, you can maybe we have not used any real models. They're all just 2D stuff. So sorry, I don't really know.
There's a website called TurboSquid. I just messing with it. You can buy some, and there are some models that are there that are really cheap that you can get from there. It's really better if you do your own. You can, if you're not an artist, find an artist and offer to pay them. There's a lot of desperate to work people out there that do it for cheap as long as they're paying.
All right, so what I'm adding here is a way for each bonus goal to provide a text representation. So it's going to say, it's reusing the description that it already has, which is defeat 3 enemies with super attacks, earn 300 gold, and then it'll say 1 out of 2 complete. We'll just see what that looks like. So here, oops. Right, and if the bonus goal is complete, we should do something else. We should say if is complete. Okay, so then in the dungeon manual panel, let's see, for each goal, cannot get used to doing var. Now, the other thing I need to do is that's going to render a really long string of text. And I need to make sure on that user interface, you can see it's very skinny. I'm going to do two things. I can make this wider, which I may do. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and make this wider anyway. Let's make it 500. Yeah, that'll be good. Our panels, we basically have two different sizes, because this at one point was and it still is going to be an iPhone game. So we had basically the user interface was responsive and would grow based on the size of the screen. So we basically had two sizes for all the user interface elements. We've decided to hold off on the iPhone stuff for now, but a lot of the mechanics are here, and we know that the user interface is going to take a lot of redesigning once we get on the iPhone. So when we get back to that, we'll worry about it then. All right, so and actually all of these elements can get moved up a little too, because they're all pretty. It's too close. All right, that looks a little better. So now we've got a nice big area here. Spending a lot of time on this. They're probably not going to end up being here in the final game, so I should probably just get them on there and move on to something else for now. I just want to show them in the game for now, and then that's one of those elements that maybe we'll have some sort of progress indicator like we do in the rescue dungeons, where it shows the number of keys that you've got. So probably do something more like that for the bonus goals. But I just want to get it on the user interface somewhere. So to kind of guess how many characters, I'm going to say, let's say 50 characters. Oops. Now we need to actually render some stuff. That's too complicated like that. All right. So this is probably more like 30 now. Okay. So that will probably be all right. Now the last thing I need to do is nope. All right, so that just makes sure that right before the screen is shown, looks right here, right before it's shown, it'll update all the text, it'll run to the bonus goals, which will add those things, and then after the panel is hidden, it will destroy all those game objects. So, that should be good. Let's go see how it looks, shall we? Turn everything back on. Totally didn't work. What did it not like? Right. Of course it didn't work. Because I didn't do the right thing. I added a new field to my panel and did not wire it up with the actual prefab. So it, of course, is not going to work when you don't program correctly. So it's not bad. Just need to move it down a bit more. And probably add a So we'll add a title there. We know we need to move this down. Let's just start at 0 and see what it does. Probably don't need to go that far down, maybe 10. So now we've got a title that says bonus goals, and then the goals themselves. so I think that's good enough for now. I'm going to call that done as well. And some other ideas for bonus goals. Maybe I'll do another. Take no damage should be pretty easy to do. And hard. All right, so basically just need to keep track of the hero taking any damage at all. We're going to say this is worth a lot. If you can finish a whole dungeon without taking any damage, I will say 500 gold. So this guy needs to So basically this goal, as soon as you take any damage, you're immediately going to fail that goal. So if it's complete, the goal is met so far, otherwise it's going to say goal failed. Alright, so now these populate custom properties and apply custom properties are part of our game persistence mechanisms. It's basically a way that anything you add to this properties file will get automatically saved into that JSON file for the whole character. And then when it's being loaded up, you're handed a properties file and you can pull out anything you need, like the damage taken. So this is what allows us to keep track of the damage taken game over game. So this guy, he was listening for people to die, which is not what we want. Instead, we want to listen for damage taken. Can't remember what. There's an attribute change listener. When any attribute changes, like health or defense, any of the character's attributes change, there's a listener that gets invoked. So we just need to listen for that guy and accumulate any damage that's taken. And I'm just trying to remember somewhere else we're doing it. There it is. Low health warning. I think we do it there. Yeah. So similar stuff here. We're going to do almost all those same things. So the health change listener fires, and it passes you in the attribute that changed and whatever the old amount of that attribute was. Alright, so we only care if the amount changed is negative, because the hero's, it's going to change over time, because as the hero levels up, he's going to gain health. So really we only care about negative losses. So if the old amount was 10, the new amount is 8. Just want to reverse those. So my current health is 8, and it used to be 10. Amount changed will be -2. So that should be correct. So let's just see how that looks. So here it was always returning that 1. Not sure what it doesn't like about that. What does it not like? Well, let me just compile it and see. I don't really understand that. Huh. Weird. This is telling me there's an error. The red squiggly line. And I don't see what it is. Well, everything compiled fine, so I don't really know what the dealio is there. Very odd. So, got my new goal. So now I just need to take some damage. Oh. So now it should say I failed. Goal failed, 4 damage taken. Perfect. So that worked. It's going to be a really hard goal to meet. Especially in situations like this. I open the door and get attacked immediately, so ranged attackers and that goal are going to be very hard to go together. Maybe I should give you more gold if we do it, because, well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to add a task later to go back and balance once we have a bunch more goals. So take no damage, play only 2-card combos. Well, those are just ideas. I'm going to create a task here, so need to think of some more bonus goals, but I'm going to call this one done. So we have 2 bonus goals now, and that's good enough. Okay. How is everyone doing out there? We've got 13 people watching. That's awesome. Hope this is somehow informative or useful. If anyone has any questions about what we're doing or the tools we're using, just let me know. I'm thinking that if Ray's up to it, we'll switch here in a minute and do some art. And you can watch Ray make some art. You up for it, Ray?
Yeah. A little bit.
Okay. We'll be switching over to do some art here in just a little bit. And you can watch Ray do some of that. So I'm gonna Let's see. What can I do here that might take just a minute? That's going to be hard to fix. That's going to be hard to fix. I have to forget. Maybe I should make my screen bigger because I'm leaning in because I can't see so well with my glasses. I'm not used to sitting this far back from the laptop. Rogue doesn't have a poison ability anymore, he has a bomb ability. This might be done. I'll have to check on that one and see. Yeah, I think I'll work on the bomb ability because that will be fun. One of the things that rogues can do is toss a giant bomb out which explodes. Okay. So let me grab the Ray did a bomb graphic last week. So let me grab that. Boy, I forget what I'm doing. There it is. And special. So bomb 1 and bomb 2 are the flickering, like that's the fuse. Bomb 1 and bomb 2 that you did last week, that's the animation. Is that right?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Just a 2-frame animation for the fuse.
The only thing that flickers is that fuse.
Okay.
Is really happening. Yeah. I misunderstood you when you said a bomb. I thought you said it was bottom.
Yeah. Like buttocks. I just said buttocks. I don't know why that's funny, because I'm 5 years old, and I think anything related to toilets and body parts is hilarious.
Of course.
My wife can confirm that.
I was trying to look at the list of things to do to see if there was something interesting, but it looks like it's all interesting stuff out.
Is there only non-interesting things left?
Well, I'm doing the icons right now, and then because I can't really think of what I should do for like when people foul. But I only got like 4 more icons. Did you took out the teachers rating for score point? Did you not want to do that, or
No, so what I left is things that had to be done to get to the point where the game is done,
Okay.
feature-wise. But yeah, no, we can definitely do that one.
Okay. When you look in,
It's in polish, I think. There's there's a Trello thing for polish and balance.
polish. Then you click on the polish. Okay. So there's a lot of art.
Oh, there's a ton of art stuff there. What I want to do is I want to get the game to feature complete, and then work on adding polish and balance to it, but not really adding new features. That makes sense? So yeah, it's everything in polish and balance doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It just means we're going to do all the other stuff first. But like on the art side, you can go crazy and still do all that stuff. I'm just probably not going to look at it for a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, because I'm seeing. Okay.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean you have no work to do. It just doesn't mean it just means that we're going to do that work later.
Well, it was kind of fun. It wouldn't have to work to do. Well, yeah. One thing I could do is work on the business card, but that would be kind of boring as well. Archers, ninjas, or jerks. What is that?
They're just hard. Ranged enemies suck.
Okay.
But they're supposed to be hard, so.
Well, I'll do the icons and then I'll maybe I'll look at the teachers cheering on and stuff too. That might be yeah, not really a challenge. I don't even know why I'm taking forever to get to it.
Because it's basically the pictures you already have, just with an arm and a sign.
You know, I could spend time on the background and make it more interesting though. But every time I tried to look at that background, I hated it. Did you already shut off?
Yeah, they can still hear us talking, but I turned off my camera and I said we're switching to art, so. Probably go ahead and turn this one off. It is amazing that it doesn't really hurt. I don't know about these, like, so these, like, yeah. I don't know if I should pull them off.
No. They'll come out by themselves and the other room is filled in the floor. Right now it was just open that more.
I can sit at my desk. Oh, have you reset did you get that email about Twitch where you had to reset your password and stuff?
I did that from my own. Did y'all?
Yeah. I just didn't know if you'd done it yet.
Well, I did that on my own, but back and forth into, but I didn't realize that was also y'all.
Yeah, I think their whole, I think they sent that to everybody.
Oh. Alright, let me go there and then first. Oh, well, wait, don't you have to send me the key?
Yeah, probably.